Hey members, declare the meeting open to the public. Advise members that the committee meeting will be recorded and broadcast throughout Parliament buildings and online. I want to advise members that I'll now seek nominations for the election of chairpersons. So can I ask for proposals for the position of chairperson?
I'll propose Philip Brett.
So members, Philip Brett's been proposed. Do we have a seconder?
I'm happy to second that.
Seconded. Can I seek agreement from Mr. Brett that he accepts the nomination? Have we any further nominations? No, so I say that the time for nominations has expired, and I put the question that Mr. Philip Brett, being the only candidate proposed, be chairperson of the committee. Agreed?
Great.
Okay, I can invite Mr. Brett to take the chair.
I can just stay here, is that happy enough? Or do you want me to move?
Well, whatever you want. I think it's for the optics. It's probably.
Okay, colleagues, I appreciate the nomination and support. As a committee, we have important work to do to scrutinise the proposals from the Commission, and we'll look forward to working with each and every one of you. So just to advise members that this meeting is now open to the public and will be broadcast and recorded throughout Parliament buildings. And as it's open to the public, members of the public or others are free to attend our committee meetings. This ad hoc committee has been established under Standing Order 53.1 to undertake the committee stage of the Assembly Members' Remuneration Board Bill and to submit a report to the Northern Ireland Assembly by the 1st of April 2025. Before the committee can commence its considerations of the bill, it is necessary to complete some practical and procedural items of business, including the election of a deputy chairperson. Daniel, can you hear us okay?
Chair Daniel may be able to hear, but he may be muted.
Okay. We just see if broadcast. You can hear us okay, Daniel?
Chairperson, if you want to ask broadcasting to unmute.
Yes, broadcasting. Could you unmute
McCrossan?
Mr. McCrossan, please? Daniel, can you hear us? Okay, well, we'll continue to work to try and get Daniel, and we still have a quorum, so we can continue. Okay, election of deputy chairperson. Members at this stage, can I seek nominations for the position of deputy chair?
Happy to propose Kathy Mason.
Happy to second.
Yes, happy to second, yes.
Do we have any further nominations? No, if none, the time for nominations has expired. Proposed by Mr. Delargy, seconded by Ms. Bradshaw. Ms. Kathy Mason be deputy chair. Members can agreed? Agreed. Okay, thank you. Then move to item 2, members, which is apologies. So Daniel is attending remotely, and Mr. John Stewart will be late to the meeting. So if we move to chairperson's business, members, because all MLAs have an interest in the outcome of this legislation, this puts an added responsibility on all of us as members of this committee to not only be seen to, but also ensure that we act impartially, and to ensure that the committee objectively scrutinises the provisions in this bill. The passage of the bill and work of the committee in scrutinise the provisions of this bill are of considerable public interest, and it's important that we discharge our duty in a fair and impartial manner. For my role as chair of this committee, I will ensure that the committee carries out its roles and responsibilities with impartiality and integrity, and I want to emphasise that we as a committee will engage with the bill sponsor, the Assembly Commission, in any other manner that we as a standing or statutory committee would do with our department. It is essential that the committee undertakes robust and independent scrutiny of the proposed provisions within this bill, and that we do in our power to ensure an outcome that enhances and safeguards public confidence in the independence of this process. Are members content with that approach?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Committee membership. Members, then at page 7 of your packs outlines the committee membership. Are members content that that is a reflection of all members here, either in person, online, or with their apologies, and that quorum for making decisions is 5 and that 4 for hearing evidence? Are members agreed with that? Thank you. Item 5, declarations of interest. Are members content that we have a standing declaration of interest that we are all MLAs, that we all receive a salary for our job, and that we will be impacted by the outcome of the deliberations of the independent panel, whatever that outcome is? Okay, thank you. Arrangements for committee meetings then, members. This committee will meet on Tuesdays during the lunchtime plenary suspension between 1 and 2 p.m. in room 29. May also be necessary for the committee to meet occasionally on Thursday afternoons when meetings are required. That it will be at 2 p.m. in room 21. Clark, I just raised this before the meeting started. Obviously, I'm a Belfast representative, so it's very easy for me to be here in person. I'm just conscious that some of my colleagues already have large commitments in terms of Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday in the Assembly, and may have constituency requirements on a Thursday, so it is possible for members to join remotely should that Thursday meeting take place. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay. Are members content with that?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. If we then look at page 10 of our packs, members, that is where we'll find details for the committee staff, and can I thank them for their work already to date, and we look forward to continuing to work with you. It's standard procedure that meetings will be open to the public unless there's a particular reason for a specific agenda item to be held in closed session. Are members content that as a rule the committee will seek to transact as much business as possible in open and public session? Okay, thank you. And members, the Assembly will use its corporate account on X for the promotion of the work of the ad hoc committee, and this will be used to inform the committee's consideration of the Assembly members' remuneration bill during the call for evidence. Members content with that? Okay. So as with other committees, it's for the committee to determine its own procedures. Are members content that questions shall be decided upon by a simple majority and that voting shall be taken place by a show of hands should that be necessary? Okay, thank you. The committee will not allow the nominations of deputies to attend the committee meeting in their place if they're unable to attend. Not a problem, sir. Members content that the members listed as members are only those that can vote and attend rather than deputies. Members content with that? Okay, thank you. Ask members just to note a couple of guidance papers. So page 12 is the guide to the power and operation of standing and ad hoc committees for chairpersons and members. There's a guide to the role of the chair at page 33, and at page 44 there's a guide for members on the role and functions of the committee. Are members content with all of that information? Okay, at this stage then we're going to receive a briefing on the provisions of the bill from the bill office clerks and to discuss the management of the committee stage of the bill. As usual practice, that would take place in closed session. I seek members' agreement just for this item to go into closed session. Is that agreed? Okay, thank you. At that stage, if we could go into closed session and invite forward our witnesses, please. Okay, colleagues, we now return to public. And can I thank our clerk for that overview? So just want to put in seek agreement on a number of issues, members. One, to refer the delegated powers memorandum to the ESR for advice on delegated powers within the bill. Are members content with that? Okay. In terms of research, members, are members content that we ask RAISE to provide us with some research in terms of practices for determining salaries in other jurisdictions referred to in the bill as the benchmarking? So both Shannon Era in UK Parliament and the Scottish and Welsh Assembly and Parliament. Members content that we get some information from them about how they go about determining that? Yep. Okay. In terms of a call for evidence, members, obviously we want to ensure that the public have the ability to have their say on that. Are members content that as a committee we would agree to have a 4-week call for evidence, which would end on the 19th of March, which should provide ample opportunity for anyone who wishes to submit evidence to the committee to do so? Sure. Agreed on that. We content to use citizen space survey for the call for evidence. Content on that. Place a signposting advert in the Belfast Telegraph, Irish News and Belfast Newsletter. Members content with that? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Schedule an oral evidence session from the Commission this Thursday. Members content with that? Yeah. And then publish the papers relating to the committee's consideration of the bill on the committee's website, including minutes, links to Hansard research papers and written submissions. Are members content with that? Okay, we then will move to item number 10, which is forward work plan. So in terms of evidence itself, members just want to have a bit of a discussion on this. So the call for evidence, I think, will afford Northern Ireland stakeholders the opportunity to feed into the committee, and there may be stuff that they provide to us that we want to hear then at an oral session. In terms of scheduling an oral session, my view would be we may wish to try and hear from the relevant authority, maybe one from the UK in terms of IPSA, and then one from the Irish Parliament. Forgive my ignorance, I'm not sure of the exact name of the Irish version of IPSA. So those two may be people that we wish to hear from directly, and then we can consider written evidence when it comes in if there's anything further. But I imagine that the written evidence will provide people the opportunity to flag things that they wish to at the committee at this stage, and if the committee sees anything in that they wish to hear more for, then we can request that they come forward. But happy to take views on that, Paula.
Yeah, no, I certainly think we need the research, but I'm just wondering, anything that we gather as a committee will go into a report, and then that will be provided to the Remuneration Board, so they don't have to then duplicate this process of gathering that evidence. Is that correct, or will they be at liberty to then restart the process in terms of gathering evidence?
Yes, well, the committee's report, the research will be published on the committee's pages of the website, and that will be available to the Remuneration Board once that is formed.
Okay, no, it's probably more relevant for them, the substantive content of that research. So,
okay. Anybody else? Anything? So are members content that we seek written evidence as outlined previously, and then in terms of oral evidence at this stage, we maybe look to hear from IPSA and their counterparts in the Republic?
And are members content with this list of potential stakeholders to include them in the call for evidence?
So that would go out publicly to everyone anyway, is that correct?
It does, yes, but this is what research has suggested as targeted a consultation with these stakeholders.
So they would be sent directly?
Yes, and invited to respond to the call for evidence.
Okay. So that is the Northern Ireland Assembly members and staff of Assembly members, Clerk of the Northern Ireland Assembly, Committee on Standards and Privileges, Chair of the Shannon Remuneration Board, Chair of IPSA, representative from the Scottish Parliamentary Corporate Body, and representatives from the Oireachtas Commission, so we can send it directly to them. But also everyone else will obviously see it through the social media channels, the newspaper channels, website, and we're also hopefully going to agree a press release.
Yeah.
Okay. Members content with that?
yes.
Okay, perfect. We then forward work plan. Then you're content with that as a forward work plan?
Content with the forward work programme?
Yeah. Okay. There's a draft press release, members, that is being printed for you, which outlines that the committee has met today, that it has agreed a call for evidence, and encouraging people to respond to that call for evidence. Are members content that that be published?
Yep.
Okay, that's agreed. And then we then move to item 11. Is there any other business at this stage? No, if not, then the committee will meet again then on Thursday with representatives from the Commission, and that will give members an opportunity then to question them on the merits, demerits or otherwise of the proposed clauses within the bill. Okay, if there's no other business, member, I declare the meeting will be adjourned at this stage.
Committee Room 29, Sound.